Welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, we're unpacking a relationship paradox that's, well, it's as beautiful as it is incredibly frustrating. We're exploring a very specific dynamic today based on some truly fascinating insights from awakened psychology. So, picture this. There's someone in your life who knows your age. They know your past, they know all those years behind you, and they love you deeply. But right when things seem to be reaching this profound level of connection, they suddenly act distant. They hesitate. It feels like a total contradiction, right? I mean, how can someone know everything about your journey, deeply appreciate it, and yet still pull away?
Okay, let's dive into this. Why do they pull away when feelings get deep? It's the kind of question that can literally keep you up at night, quietly touching parts of your heart you really thought were already healed. But the source material we're looking at today argues that this hesitation isn't what you probably think it is. It's definitely not a loss of interest. In fact, to truly understand this mystery, we've got to completely reframe exactly how this person views your life experience.
So that brings us to part one, the secret about your age.
Now, when society at large looks at age, it often just sees limitation, time past. People tend to focus on the quiet, heavy expectations that the world imposes on us. But, and this is absolutely crucial, when this specific person looks at you, they don't see a number. They see depth. They see the calm strength you've built from surviving those moments that once nearly broke you. They see the pauses, the restarts, the scars, and they find it all incredibly attractive. They notice that you listen way more than you speak, and that your silence carries real wisdom. Basically, your age tells them that you are real. You're not impulsive, you're not pretending, and you are absolutely no longer chasing illusions.
Not in spite of your age, but with full awareness of it. That quote brilliantly captures the reality of their feelings. They love you not in spite of your age, but because they are fully aware of it. You see, their love isn't based on mere curiosity. It's not born out of convenience, and it is certainly not about loneliness. Instead, it's this deep, profound appreciation of the entire journey you've walked to become the exact person standing in front of them today.
Moving on to section 2, the magnetism of maturity.
Because of everything you've been through, you've developed a profound emotional discipline. You don't love loudly anymore. Instead, you love deeply. You don't demand attention. You offer pure presence. You choose. You don't chase. And honestly, perhaps most importantly, you don't play games. You don't manipulate. And you definitely don't test people just to see if they're going to stay. You've learned exactly what rushing costs, so you simply no longer rush feelings. And let me tell you, this level of emotional discipline is incredibly rare in today's dating world. To someone exhausted by shallow connections, you feel like peace. Just imagine the overwhelming relief your partner feels. Think about it. They've likely navigated a world full of surface-level relationships and exhausting dating games. And then suddenly, they encounter your emotional maturity. It's exactly what draws them in, so fundamentally and irresistibly, even if they don't fully understand the mechanics of it themselves just yet.
Which leads us perfectly into section 3, why they suddenly hesitate.
The answer actually lies in their silent fears. Internally, they're asking themselves these big questions they dare not say out loud. What if I fall too deeply? What if this becomes incredibly serious? What if society judges us? Or what if the future doesn't align the way my heart desperately wants it to? You see, the source points out something really vital here. They are not afraid of you, and they aren't even afraid of love itself. They're afraid of the timing and the sheer weight of what a connection like this really means. So instead of communicating these fears openly, they fall into this specific pattern of hesitation. First, they pull back slightly. Then, they go quiet. Next, they observe you from a distance. And finally, they check on you indirectly. It is a confusing, super frustrating cycle to be on the receiving end of, for sure. But pay close attention to how they actually act during this phase. They still notice the little details others miss. They fiercely protect your dignity in conversations. They never, ever disrespect your age, not even jokingly. Yes, they're hesitant to step forward, but they are incredibly careful not to harm you while they step back.
And that brings us to a really crucial reassurance. Their feelings haven't disappeared. They have actually grown stronger. It's a theory that completely changes how we view their distance. Their heart is absolutely already involved. But their mind? Well, their mind is simply trying to catch up to the reality of a future with you. Because when they look at you, they see a real future. And seeing a real future changes absolutely everything.
All right, let's get into section 4, the unexpected twist revealed.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how it completely flips the script on typical relationship anxiety. We usually assume that if someone pulls back, well, they must be unsure about us, right? But the twist here? They aren't unsure about you at all. They're unsure about what loving you truly deserves. They know that loving you wouldn't be casual.
It would be entirely life-altering, and they know that once they fully choose you, there is no going back to those surface-level connections ever again.
Am I ready to love someone like this properly? That's what they're silently asking themselves. They respect you way too much to play with you. They know you're not an experiment. You're not just a phase. You are not a temporary distraction. Loving you is a serious endeavor, and they are standing perfectly still, trying to gauge their own readiness to match your immense value.
Because they recognize what your love actually requires. It demands complete honesty, dependable stability, unwavering commitment, and deep emotional presence. Your age and your journey signal loud and clear that you know exactly what you want. You don't want to prove anything anymore. You just want quiet understanding and emotional safety. And that makes love a very serious commitment for them. They're moving carefully, simply because the stakes are incredibly high.
And finally, Section 5, how you should respond. When you're handling this hesitation, you need to remember these 3 crucial steps. Number 1, do not shrink yourself to make this easier for them. Number 2, do not let their quietness make you feel insecure. And number 3, do not assume this love is fragile, because it isn't. Listen, if this person didn't truly care, they would have taken the easy route. They would have rushed in, flirted, consumed your energy, and then disappeared. But they didn't do that. They stayed aware, they stayed respectful, and they stayed emotionally present, even from a distance.
The reality is simply this: cautious love is not weak. It's thoughtful, it's respectful, and it's incredibly real. Their hesitation is not a flaw in the connection. They are standing still precisely because they're trying to decide how to love you the right way. This caution, it's actually the quiet beginning of something deeply, deeply meaningful.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought to reflect on today. Based on everything we've just uncovered, are they running away or just preparing to love you right? It completely changes the lens through which we view a partner's sudden distance, doesn't it? Well, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this look at the hidden depths of hesitation has provided you with some clarity, some peace of mind, and a brand new perspective on the true power of your own emotional maturity. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.